Loud. Beautiful. That should work. Yes. Okay, that's my goal. Here we go. So, Julie, how do you say your last name?
Leavitt. Leave it
Levitt.
to Leavitt.
Leave it to Levitt. That's awesome. I am honored and privileged to have on the podcast today Julie Leavitt, who resides in Atlanta, and I met 2 years ago at Dr. Shefali's Evolve conference. Didn't know you, but you spoke on stage. I think right before Dr. Shefali had me come up and speak for a little bit. And I was so impressed by your presentation, what you said. And then I've been running the center, doing tons of parent work. And I was like, wait a minute, I think Julie's in Atlanta. Let me look up conscious parenting. And sure enough, Atlanta Conscious Parenting, the organization that you run alongside Jessica. So we recently connected, and Julie, I think it's not only is it our attempt to be conscious parents ourselves, to immerse ourselves in Dr. Shefali's work and encouragement, but then just on a heart and a soul level, I felt connected with you. And so I'm honored for you to be here. And I would love for you to kind of dive in and tell the audience a little bit about yourself and your journey that got you into conscious parenting.
Thank you so much, Wes, for that beautiful introduction. It is with great pleasure that I stumbled across conscious parenting when I was in the depths of despair, being a single mom to three little girls. And the way I was parenting was the way my parents taught me to parent: threats, control, hierarchy, respect, demands, opinions, conditionings. And I found myself in about 2015 with that strategy not working. My girls had voices. My girls wanted to be seen for who they were, not what they were doing or how they respected me or how they behaved. And it was me that had to change. So luckily, I found Dr. Shefali speaking about conscious parenting on Oprah's Super Soul Sunday. And the first time, I think, in my entire life, a beautiful light went off in my soul and said, there's another way to parent. There's a more functional way to parent, something that leaves me feeling successful, like I can, establish healthy boundaries and I can embrace being a single mom with failures. So I read Dr. Shefali's book. I started implementing the practices. I dove headfirst and really just have come up on the other side, I'd say 3 years later, with healthy boundaries, with a beautiful connection with my daughters. It's not all about correction. It's not all about what my daughters can do for me, but it's really how I've grown up and helped my big emotions so that I can really be there for my daughter's emotions.
Beautiful.
So that's the gist of conscious parenting in a nutshell with my story. I can't tell you how much it has taught me to grow up. It has really helped me in every relationship, my marriage, my parents, my sibling, my friends, and most importantly, my daughters and my bonus children.
That's awesome. And Julie, I think about it, it's very interesting because conscious parenting, even though it has the term parenting in it, and many people find it as part of their parenting journey, it really is soul work, depth work on yourself
Mhm.
and growth and evolution of how you see yourself, your identity, your relationships, your roles. So when you mention that it's impacted every other facet and relationship in your life, I think about this one quote that says, the relationship you build with yourself will set the tone for every other relationship in your life. And that's really what this is encouraging is if you're going to show up and be a present parent, aware of your child for where they are in their journey of growth and development, still be able to set boundaries, rules, regulations, but really walk with them collaboratively through the fire of developmental growth and those developmental time periods. The only way to do that is if you're in tune with yourself, taking care of yourself and working on your own growth. And I
Yes.
think we don't think like that. We kind of, I was talking the other day and I was like, it's almost like we have this linear progression where we're like, I'm going to get to a place where I've done all of my work. So now I can stop looking at myself, reflecting, growing, asking questions. And I just think it's such a critical and crucial part
It
of,
is.
of development and growth. And so it's beautiful. So how old were your daughters when you discovered Shefali?
So that was in 2014. So I had a daughter that was 12. I had a daughter that was 9, and then a daughter that was 8. Um, but you really hit the nail on the head, Wes. It is truly about what you're willing to break in patterns. It's how you're willing to grow. It's how you're willing to believe that not everything you were taught by your parents is for you. It's right. It should be challenged. It should be questioned. And I found that when I tested my growth, I could expand miles and miles and miles, and my heart grew bigger and wider and with more love and without criticisms and without judgments and without fear. And that's what parents need to really dig in their inner work and see how much more expansive they can be. Because that's what our kids need. Our kids need us to widen so we can see them for who they are, not what they do. So we can be a little bit more accepting for their big feelings and really embrace how we are as in a relationship with ourselves before we, tell our kids what to do, how to do it, why to do it. There's other ways. And one of my favorite sayings in conscious parenting is there's always another way. And there is. I've found plenty of ways, and it's just been so beautiful to watch unfold, my parental
Absolutely.
experience.
And Julie, I think about because it really truly is depth work. And
Yeah.
I am, as a practitioner and a psychologist, I get very critical and frustrated with methodologies,
Yeah.
with because we live in such a you know you watch people on the internet sell certain things and present certain things as if it's the cure all. We
Yeah.
found it. It's this new
Yeah.
methodology, whether it's a therapeutic methodology, it's CBT, solution focus, relational work, DBT, EMDR, all beautiful methodologies and approaches. But so many times people will look for a quick fix or a very strategic, give me exactly what to do so that I can get this goal.
Yeah.
And I have never resonated with those things because what I found in my own lived experience is it takes time, energy, effort. It's nuanced, it's complex. This is a human soul, your own life, existence. So I go a little bit more the realm of like philosophical exploration and Eastern spirituality and these different things. But I love that conscious parenting, much like Jungian analysis
Yeah.
or depth psychotherapy or psychoanalysis, it takes a deeper dive, and it basically says you have to be willing to go on this journey. But if you are, you will reap so many benefits, not only in
Oh,
awareness and understanding of yourself, but also your children and how they see you. And so many times our children see the world through the eyes of their parents.
oh yeah.
And so if your eyes are filled with fear, anxiety, neuroticism, worry, contempt, resentment, anger, your child is picking up on that energetically and is going to hold it in a particular way and then project it in another way. And so it really, I tell so many parents, if you really want to do the great, give your child the greatest gift you ever could, it's to do your own work. It's to look at yourself. It's to take care of yourself. It is literally to be the embodiment of what you are asking your child and yearning for your child to be in the world.
Yep.
Um, and that's hard. A lot of people are like, because we get stuck in our ways,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, and even me at 41, it's like, man, I, it's so easy to just jump on the soapbox and be like, do this because I said it's right. Or, and it really, my heart goes out to parents of all walks of life, because the parenting journey, in my opinion, is the most difficult. Having a child is like getting your heart ripped out of your chest and you're watching it walk through the world. So the instinctual response is, I'm going to protect you and make sure that you don't feel pain. But
Mhm.
in our attempt to protect our children, we become controlling,
Yes.
fearful, and it's a hard balance because you really can see if your child could do certain things behaviorally, you know that they would feel better,
Mhm.
experience life in a different way, have less pain and suffering. And so that's the tension piece that I watch a lot of parents struggle with, because they're like, all I'm trying to do is give my kid
Mhm.
truth and tell
Right.
them, please do this. Don't do drugs. Don't self harm. Don't
Mhm.
treat other people like this. Don't lie. Don't be like this in peer relationships. And the hardest pill to swallow is your child has to go on their journey experientially. And really, the more you try and control, especially in adolescence, the more there is a natural rebellion or differentiation and
Yes.
fight for autonomy. And
Yes.
so that's where I like to flip it on its head. And you say to your kid, look, you have ultimate free will. I love you. It
Yes.
really brings up all this stuff for me, but I cannot control your emotions,
Yes.
your behaviors, your choices, how you think about the world. I love you and I care about you deeply. All I can do is sit here and provide sacred space and hopefully give guidance, and then also get very clear about what I will support and
Mhm.
what I won't, with
True.
um, privileges that I provide you. And
True.
it's so hard though. I mean, it's
So
literally, you
hard.
have to go against your evolutionary
Yes.
instinct, which
Yes.
is, you know, it's like the mama deer having a baby deer and then just like
Yes.
staying right beside it.
Right.
It's it's hard work, but I think very well worth it.
It is. It's you kind of said it, so perceptive. We insulate our kids so much when they're young. We teach them how to ooh and ah and eat and walk and climb jumble gyms and go to school and do all these things, but at some point parents are not sure when to pull back and when to let go. And that's why I've loved learning so much about conscious parenting, because it really establishes these natural boundaries that no one taught us. And the way our culture and society teaches us is it has to be done this way, it has to be done my way. You've got to watch out what everyone else thinks. And that's really the demise of parenting. What really energizes me is seeing where can I let go? Where can I widen? Where can I, sit and pause? Where can I do something different to show my kid that I really don't just have one emotion? It's yell, condition, punish, take away. I want my kid to know that I am talking with her, not at her. I want my kids to know that I've done my work so I can join in the present moment where my kid may be struggling and not be operating from the past or the future.
Yeah.
And that's the sky is the limit when you join in the present with your teenager. They really feel it.
Yes. Yes. And Julie, I think about all the beautiful families and parents we work with at the center I run and my private practice. And my heart really does go out to them because they oftentimes will find us when things are really difficult and disintegrating, and especially things that are like of urgent concern. So, it's parents that are like, look, my kid is immersed in anxiety and depression, won't leave their room, is doing tremendous amounts of school refusal, or my child has been regularly self harming and abusing drugs and substances to a pretty extreme level. Or there's so much rebellion and defiance that they're getting physically violent in the home with the parents or siblings. So when they arrive, it really, they're seeking like a solution. We have to get this behavior to stop.
Yeah.
And then here I come with like, the most abrasive delivery of, you can't control your child's behavior. And they're like, what are you talking about? We have to. My child's in danger. I have to find a way. But what I'm really trying to deliver is more truth, to say there is no program, therapist, clinician, psychiatrist, medication that can control. And if it can, it's for a very limited amount of time in a particular environmental silo that doesn't do a tremendous amount for the overall continuum of care.
True.
How can we help you first as a parent regulate your nervous system
Right.
so that you're not drowning as well?
Right.
And then step into a space of radical acceptance for the here and now, and begin to very concretely work on ways for you to rebuild and establish relational connectivity
Yes.
with your child. Because
Yes.
I think you and I know, Julie, it's like that's when we see the magic. The
That's right.
magic is, and a lot of parents will get hung up in, I can't have a relationship with my kid until they
Right.
stop using drugs,
Right.
until they stop self-harming, uh,
Right.
until, and it's almost like these parents are holding their breath and
Right.
going, I can't even think about myself separate from my child
Right.
until I know they're safe.
Right.
And I wonder if you have any advice for our parents on ways that they can try and get closer to that, because you and I know so concretely that that has to happen energetically.
Yes.
And then we can talk about all the nuance of like what, level of therapeutic care they need, what that'll look like. But I'm just curious about your thoughts of I know you as a parent, single mom, you told me some of your story where it was like the level of stress
Mm-hmm.
that you were under. How did you maneuver being a conscious parent when everything in your environmental situation was triggering your stress, your nervous system? Like, how
That's
do,
right.
yeah,
It's such a valid question because when you're depleted and you are overwhelmed and you are full of anxiety, no sleep, worry, everything under the sun, where's the outlet? Where's coming out of this? And I think for parents, the most important strategy is to reach out for help. Reach out and ask for support. There are so many conscious parent coaches out there that want to help one parent at a time. And it doesn't even matter if both parents are not congruent and parenting the exact same way. It just takes one parent to say, what I am doing is not working. Do you know how hard that is for me to admit? What I am doing as a parent is not working. It's not my kid's fault. It's me that needs another strategy. That's when I want to hold up a billboard on the interstate and at every event and say, I'm right here. Let me help you. Let me help you with tools that you're not aware of. Let me tell you about everything that has been suppressed in you, and it needs to have the lid taken off so that you can grow and look at your child and just love your child for who they are. Hear your child and know that they are in pain. And to really help every parent understand that we don't have a map to parent these kids. We are, in a stage where we can learn more, where we can grow, where we can really look for a different kind of support. And there's not a magical wand that we can sprinkle on our kids to say, stop using drugs. If I change, will you change? It's not how it works. A kid needs the parent to change. A teenager needs a parent to grow. A kid needs to see, wow, my mom may not have had all the needs and wants when we were younger, but look how they've changed, and be the example for these kids. Show
Beautifully.
them that it's not just conditional love, it's an unconditional love. We have babies, we raise these babies, we try to give everything that we can to these kids, and along the way we deplete ourselves. We don't nourish ourselves with the goods. Going to get our nails done, going to party, going to socialize with other people isn't gonna replace what is stuck inside. So I encourage parents to reach out and say, I need a safe place to get support.
Beautifully said, Julie. Like, I'm so grateful you said that. And any way that a parent can do it, there's no right or wrong way. It's just
Right.
arriving at the place where you can be humble enough to say, what's going on isn't working. And like you said, I need a different strategy. And this isn't guilt and it's not shame.
Right.
I'm a bad parent. I failed my kid. I'm
Right.
now too, because there's so much stigma that comes with that.
That's right.
But that's only because we do this really messed up thing as parents where we allow our children to be a reflection of
Yeah.
us and our
Yeah.
self-worth. So if
Yeah.
my child goes to Harvard and has 6 degrees and
Right.
accomplishes everything, then I rave to the whole neighborhood about it because it's a reflection of me as an incredible father. But if my kid's homeless and battered on the streets using drugs, I keep it sheltered because
That's right.
something in me is fearful that
Yeah.
if I tell people that, they're going to judge me as a parent.
That's
And the
right.
real truth is they will, but they only will if they haven't gone through their own journey
That's
of
right.
conscious parenting. If
That's
they're
right.
still at a limited developmental space where they're looking at parenting as a causal relationship, and they're going, if you just do this, and you get that from a lot of people. So a
Yeah.
lot of people will be like, well, if that was my kid, I'd just do this. You take away the damn car and you do A, B, C, and
Yeah.
none of these problems would be going on. And
That's
I
right.
feel grateful for my journey as a special needs dad because I got that so early on. People would be like, these tantrums, if you can just feed your kid this. And I was like, you want to come over and try and feed my kid? Because they're only eating this particular thing. Unless we want to like tube feed them, it ain't happening. But I was thinking about, I was watching, I think I might have told you this, Julie, and it was really profound. Uh, it was a young girl who had terminal cancer and she was on American Idol, and all the judges were up there and she told her story, and she basically had beat it, and then it came back really intense, and then she beat it again, and now it was back with a vengeance, and
Yes.
all the doctors were saying you got maybe 6 months, but this is going to go quickly. And so she had been doing tremendous amounts of work with wrestling with her existence and life. And she said this profound quote. I was driving while I was listening to it, and she said, the biggest thing I've learned, and I wish I could gift people with, is don't wait for your life to be perfect to be happy.
Right.
And I was like, boom, I started crying because I was just like, man, we do that. And we really, really do it with our children.
Yeah.
Where we're going, I'm just going to wait until they're good and there's no challenges in school or in their relationships or in their relationship with themselves and their behaviors. If I can just get my kid good, then I'll be able to have a joyful day. And it's like, man, I'm watching parents, and it's so complex because the children are waiting for mom and dad to have joy so that they can relax their nervous system in a certain way. So what you get is this cyclical system of, it's like a tug of war. I'm only going to calm down when I know you are. And something magical happens when a parent reaches a place of conscious awareness and goes, I have to find peace in my heart right now.
Yes.
Even today, even while my child is in this place that is so fear antagonizing and overwhelming, I have to, and a lot of parents feel like it's very selfish, but they don't recognize the direct energetic impact it has on their relationship with their child. And
100%.
I'll just say one other thing. Dr. Bruce Lipton, he's a brilliant, I think he's like a molecular biologist, but he talks about, he wrote a book called The Biology of Belief. And he does this beautiful video where he says, we're all energetic. We have trillions of cells. We're comprised of this community of atoms and cells and energy and vibrations, and we give off waves, vibrational, energetic waves.
100%.
It sounds super hippie, but he says good vibes and bad vibes, that's really scientific. It is vibrational wave energy that we are putting out and receiving. And he talks about when it's constructive waves that move towards each other, we get in wave harmony. And it increases our energy and we have joy. And he says when it's destructive and they're moving at different paces and trajectories, it hits and they fight and bounce off each other. And you said it earlier, you have to get in wave harmony with yourself for there ever to be the possibility and opportunity for your child to meet you in that wave harmony. But if you're in this dis-ease place and out of alignment with yourself, then the only energy you're giving is fear, anxiety, worry, concern. And as soon as your kid's getting that, they're fighting against it. And you're just doing this.
That's exactly right. It's like a ram and a bull, the meeting of the
where they just slam
the
heads.
horns, the ego of the parent, the stubbornness of the child, what gives. It's an energetic, power out there. I speak about my energy all the time because that's what really has taught me to believe in myself. Is I'm made up of more than intellect or change or resilience. I'm made up of energy, and I enjoy connecting with people. I enjoy connecting and finding joy, and I know that I'm wider and expansive. And so it's really taught me to have more belief in myself as a human being, as a parent, as a wife, as a daughter, as a sister. And like I said, the energy has impacted in a healthy way every one of my relationships. And it's been since 2014, so 10 years. And I'm not giving up. I'm going to continue to grow and expand and learn and be willing and have epiphanies and tap into my awareness. And that's what life is about.
And Julie, I just got chills because I thought about you as a woman and a mom as you get older, as we all do. But in your, we so often think that parenting is going to stop.
Right.
Once your kid's 25, you're not going to be a dad or a mom to him anymore. And it's like, I'm 41 and I look at my dad and my mom, and the greatest gift that they are giving me is what you just referenced. When I see them still enjoying life,
Yes.
being in wave harmony, made me so happy the other day. And trust me, I went through a bunch of my own stuff, man. 17 to 23, I told you, horrific turmoil with my own family. But my dad and I, man, talk about just massive. But the other day, we have such a beautiful relationship now. And he was like, hey, I have his old turntable. And he was like, do you have that old Woodstock record? And my dad went to the original Woodstock.
No.
Says he doesn't. He said he doesn't remember much, but he remembers skinny dipping and mudsliding, like Crosby, Stills and Nash playing and Hendrix. But he was like, "Do you have that record?" Because I have his old records, and I looked through and I couldn't find it. And he said, "Dang it, I want to find it and I want to frame it and put it in my office at the house." And so I got on eBay and I found a framed, really beautiful Woodstock record that's got the record cover and then the actual gold disc.
That's so cool.
With some and I ordered it for him, and it was just this beautiful moment because I'm finding so much joy in him.
Yes.
Feeling good about life.
Yes.
And growing, and I'm watching, and kids you're always watching your parents.
Watching.
And something miraculous happens when our parents evolve into this holistic place of conscious awareness. They're safe for us. And even now, in my 40s, being able to call my folks, it's safe and it's sacred because they are conscious parents and they're not projecting on me.
Yes.
And it's not this loop. So I had this vision of you as you continue to grow and as your daughters are in their 30s and 40s and 50s communicating with you. It's like you're not just doing conscious parenting work for your kid while they're 12 to 20. Right. And then go back to being an unconscious parent because you've done the parenting stuff. It's like you're doing this for your whole life with your family system to do what's in the best interest and greatest good of you as a human being and everybody that's in relationship with you in your family system. That's true. That's right. And listen, emotional maturity can start at any time, any point of the day. It's just a willingness. It's a willingness. Absolutely. Julie, this has been so awesome. I know it was a crazy day and university and my phone and the AT&T outage, but I am glad we got at least one episode under our belt. Yes. I want to do more. I'm going to talk to Jessica, who's part of your Atlanta Conscious Parenting. Yes. And I would love for you to kind of tell people if they want to get more information about Atlanta Conscious Parenting, where they should go. And also, I'm very excited because we've talked about at one point you joining the parent webinar that I run. So I think there's going to be a lot of beautiful collaboration in the future. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much. It was a joy and a privilege. I could talk about conscious parenting 24 hours a day. So you can definitely check out our website at atlantaconsciousparenting.com. Obviously, you got to look up how to spell conscious. It's a trickster. And you can always reach me at julie@atlantaconsciousparenting.com anytime. Awesome. I look forward to it. If parents have any questions, they can just reach you, Julie@atlantaconsciousparenting.com. Yes, ask me. No fee, no consultation price. Just ask away if you're curious, if you have a personal question,
if you're just not sure and you've never heard the term conscious parenting before and you want to know more, reach out, ask. I'm here to support. And that's my main goal, is to help one parent at a time.
Awesome. Julie, I'm very grateful for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We will talk soon.
Thanks, Wes. Have a great day.
Okay.
Bye-bye.